Hello, children, and welcome to the number 62 Progressive Rock channel on YouTube. That would be, you have found yourself here either by happy accident or incredibly stupid design to the Myth of Logic channel, and we are here today with another episode of Long Tracks and Tall Tales. I am your co-host, Scott G. Davis from Myth of Logic, and also with me today is my good friend, Christopher Clark, also drummer of Myth of Logic. And he's about to start earning that title here very soon in the near future.
Yes,
joining us today, and this is such a proud moment for me and Chris. We're so happy to have him today. Everyone, put your hands together and welcome Mr. Scot Lade from the Prog Corner, the one, the only. Scott, how are you doing, man?
You're so kind. Oh, yes, indeed. No, it is. It's actually my honor to be on your channel. And number 162 or whatever it is,
that's probably more accurate.
He's being very generous.
The algorithm doesn't know any better.
No.
Well,
it just doesn't. It's okay.
So we are here today. We're not going to talk about news bits. We're not going to talk about Myth of Logic. We're not going to talk about anything other than this guy right here, this very divisive masterwork from one of my favorite bands, yes, Tales from Topographic Oceans. This is, Scott, I know, not only your favorite Yes album, but I believe it's also your favorite album, period.
It most certainly is. And it has been ever since the day that I finally got it, which was admittedly probably like 3 years after I initially had contact with it, because it is a difficult thing to wrap your mind around. That your favorite band in the whole world decided to take this really weird left turn into Hindu scriptures and long form structures, just completely unheard of for a band that was on top of the world, close to the edge at number 3, went multi-platinum. It was a big old ginormous hit. So they kind of had carte blanche to do whatever they wanted to. And they took full advantage of it, and that's prog rock. I was going to say,
I haven't listened to it a whole lot, but I have. And Scott, both of Scots know me. I'm really into avant-garde and rock in opposition. And a couple of moments on this, particularly the Ancient, it feels like avant-garde. Like, why? Yes is going rock in opposition, almost like with this. It's so different from all their other stuff. It's crazy.
I love that first half of the Ancient. But, it turned a lot of people off, and then I had a lot of Yes fans that were like really into sides 1 and 4. But what's with the weird drum thing, the whole drum circle solo thing with all the screechy, weird noises in the background? A lot of people didn't get that, didn't understand. I loved sides 1 and 4 right away. It was sides 2 and 3. Side 3 was too weird for me, and side 2 was too boring for me. I'd skip right ahead to Relayer, right to that section every single time. And then finally, I decided I was going to listen to it over and over. Now it's one of my favorite pieces of music of all time because it takes its sweet time to get to where it wants to go. It's not as powerful without that 9 minutes of whatever the remembering's doing. Just wandering around is so beautiful and so weird. No other band had the balls to do what Yes did in 1973. It's absolutely astounding that they got away with it and that they pulled it off, because so many things were working against it, right? I mean, Rick Wakeman was completely bored. Bill Bruford was no longer there. This was really a whole idea that was completely being led by Steve Howe and John Anderson. Everybody else just kind of seemed like, they didn't even know what this thing was. But somehow, some way, the tapes get saved. Eddie Offord works some magic, and I saw you were holding up the Steven Wilson remix.
This is the 2016 remix.
I believe Chris is holding.
Mine looks like your cover, Scott Lade.
Yeah,
on the back on yours behind you.
Yeah, this is the one that's on. I have no idea how to pronounce this record label.
That's from the
Panegyric or whatever.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is
That's
the
a big
Steven
remix.
Wilson remix box set.
Okay.
But that's even the 2016 remix.
Right.
Right. The 2026 remake is going to come into play as we are discussing it.
Was this lambasted when it was released? Was it very divisive upon its release?
I remember when it was released, and it was everywhere. It was inescapable.
Okay.
'Cause
I don't know.
I was only 10, but I remember it. I remember when it was released, and it was because I had already knew about Yes at that point. So and
I'm guessing it was a divisive album even then, though, wasn't it? I mean, was it?
Oh yeah, on release. Yep.
I mean, not only did Yes just get off of the incredible high that was Close to the Edge, their triple album sold so well, completely beating expectations, that a lot of fans were pretty excited about Tales from Topographic Oceans. And what they got was a piece of art rock that really didn't sound a whole lot like anything else most people had ever heard before.
Right.
Well,
and that's not what you want when you're trying to become world beaters. And to John Anderson's credit in particular, and Steve Howe, those two masterminds, they didn't care. They didn't care. They went wherever their muse took them. Wherever their muse and whatever strand of marijuana they were smoking in the hotels around the world as they were writing this beast. God bless them all, because it all came together. It all worked. It could only happen in 1973 that, John Anderson is at a wedding, and, Bill Bruford's wedding, and Jamie Muir gives him a copy of what is it? Paramahansa Yogananda's autobiography of what is that? A yogi.
A yogi. Yeah.
He was a yogi. Those people in India are like studying all this ascetism and weird stuff, and he gets stuck on a footnote on page 84. And come on, man. You don't construct a whole band's future based on, oh, wait a second, that's exactly what they're doing. And to John Anderson's credit, his eternal credit, he's probably the only person on earth that could make it happen. And he does. He absolutely does. And
I'd like to insert here.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel that you know about, Scott. It's Rails Prog Docs. Is that what it's called? He has an absolutely wonderful. It's less than 25 minutes. It's a little documentary about the making of the album. If you have not gone to that channel, go over there and look at that one in particular. It's very well done.
His channel's amazing.
Yeah, it's very well done.
I've watched all his documentaries. He's been a guest on the show. I unmasked him.
That's right, you did.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
I remember that. Yeah. But his doc about Topographic is wonderful. I think the album, like I said, when it came out, it was extremely divisive. For many, many years, I have hated this album. I've tried very, very hard to appreciate it and enjoy it. The original records as released, it sounds like a band playing cardboard boxes inside a cardboard box. It's just not, it didn't sound good. It didn't sound right. And that was a big problem for me, apparently. And I'm going to get to the rest of that as we talk along here. But I just thought it was a huge drop off for the band. The things that I used to say about it was that it was boring and meandering, and Wakeman himself used to say that it was too padded out. It would have made a lot of fans say, well, it would have made a better single, or it would have this, that, or could be edited or whatnot. And I was in that camp for many, many years until just recently.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys just real quickly, my my dealings with it were, I didn't even know really a whole lot about Yes until much later than y'all did. And I had gone to see Yes here in Odessa, and it was on the tour when they did Drama, and
Topographic Drama. That's
yes,
an excellent live album
it was a
too.
great
Yeah.
show, and it's
Yeah.
what made me go, wow, what is the Tales? I had known Drama, but I had not known Tales from Topographic Oceans, and they played some of that. And I guess it's the fact that I like more experimental avant-garde rock and opposition type stuff. I think this is awesome. I just love it. I love how experimental and different it is, and I love the parts that are almost music concrete, where it's just sound and noise. I think that's fascinating to me, and truly fascinating given what they were doing at the time. It is so veered off of the path from where they were. That's what's fascinating about it to me. But Scott, Lade, I want to know what you hated it at first. Why did you not like a lot of it?
I loved side one right away. Side one. It didn't take long before I really liked side 4 also. So I didn't hate it, but sides 2 and 3 I really did. I just did. I thought side 2 was like, okay, Alan White takes the first half of the song off basically, right. And it's just a lot of noodling around, and Chris just disappeared on.
Yes, I did. Hold on.
Did you unplug something?
And I just didn't understand the story.
We can hear you, Chris. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, let me find out what's going on here. You can keep talking though. I'll figure it out.
Hang on, I'm gonna pause.
Where is it?
Here I am.
Yeah, he's back.
How do you like that for an edit, man? No, side 2 just kind of meandered for me.
Yeah,
I just didn't get it, and by the time it starts rocking a little bit, I'm kind of disappointed in the don your cap thing, because the first time it does it, it's really good, and the second time it does it, it's like they're falling asleep and they couldn't care less about the song or the melody, and then the relayer part comes up again. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it at all.
Yeah,
of course I was dead wrong about all the above. And then side 3 was just like, how many times do I need to hear Steve Howe add like one part to a riff? You know, he starts out, you know, and it's once, and then he does it twice, and then 3 times, and then 4 times. Like, how many times is he going to do that over and over? And then it's just, I don't want to count this anymore. Okay, it's enough already. And then we finally, after hearing that tritone for the millionth time, we finally get into some classical guitar, and Steve Howe's really, really good at that.
Oh, leaves it green.
You know, but it, you know, to me, I didn't care overall for sides 2 or 3.
So what made it click for you suddenly? What was the moment that you went, oh my God, I get it? You know?
I think forcing myself to listen to it start to finish.
Okay.
And being that Yes was my all-time favorite band, I was willing to give it that time. I totally get it if you know, you just kind of like Yes, and you know, not as into them as I was and still am to this very day. I dedicated so much time and effort. You know, I was a little kid, right? I mean, I had nothing else to do all summer, right? I'm sitting. It's just like, what record am I going to put on and lie on the couch and listen to? You know, and over and over, I would tell myself, it's going to be Tales from Topographic Oceans. I'm going to get it. I know I'm wrong about it. And I was dead wrong about it. As soon as it did click, and it wasn't like one epiphany, it was just over and over, little melodies started popping up in different places on the album. You know, you don't have like recurring themes per se, but you know, you do have little bits here and there. And was that close to the edge? Or that one bit does sound a whole lot like Siberian Katru. And it's like, okay, all right, I see what they're doing there, and it kind of kept me going. Those little Easter eggs. And sooner or later, it all made sense. And I'm like, you know what? Not only is this a really good Yes album, but I started thinking maybe it's my favorite Yes album. And, you know, Bill Bruford's my favorite drummer of all time. And I am so glad he was not on this album.
Well, this album doesn't happen.
He would have ruined it.
This album does not. Well, he would have left. If he'd have gotten into he would have left. He really would have.
Yeah, he would have. But if he would have stayed, if they would have like made him by gunpoint stay, because that's probably the only way. Yeah, he wouldn't have been happy about the proceedings. He would have ruined it. He absolutely would.
Well, I'm not a Yes fanatic. I am a Yes fan. I like them very much. I'm not a fanatic. I'm going to tell you, I could see this very easily being my favorite album of theirs. It's so different and so more in my wheelhouse of the type of thing I like with progressive rock, that there's something about this that speaks to me. It didn't take me a long time to really get it. Now, when I very first heard it not too long ago, I was taken aback, but I was not taken aback in any way of like, oh, this is terrible. I was taken aback of, is this really Yes? I mean, I was like, they're just so different from the way they do everything else.
Yeah.
Well, and then they went on to make Relayer, which is an even less Yes album. And it's kind of interesting to me because, well, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the curtain back. This is how much I now love this album.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you bought it on vinyl.
I do not have it on vinyl. I'll tell you how. I had a similar journey to Scot, but it just took many more decades.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of things at work. I think a lot of it was the mystical power of the Scot Lade wearing me down from a distance.
That's right. Finally.
There was a big part of that. But to be honest with you, the last straw for me was this absolutely stunning new remix. It cannot be overestimated. The 2026 Steven Wilson remix is absolutely stunning. There was an album hiding in there that I now love very much that I had no idea was there. The drums have balls and they have power, and the harmony vocals are nicely blended, and there's clarity that was never there. It's like they took that cardboard box off of the band and threw it away, and suddenly the sounds of the earlier albums were sprinkled over all of that. Not even his previous remix from 10 years ago can hold a candle to it. So, friends,
nice.
If you are like I was up until, I'm not kidding, this week, go and seek out that 2026 remix and give it a chance. One of the other things, and Scott mentioned this, and it's absolutely positively correct. Tales from Topographic Oceans, it's broken up into 4 pieces because that's how they had to do it. I would argue that if that album had been made in the CD era, it would be continuous. There would not be broken up tracks. It would be 80 minutes of continuous music. That is how it has to be listened to. If you break it up into sections, it does not reward the listener in the same way. You have to sit down and start at the beginning and listen to the whole thing, and suddenly it opens itself for you. I've listened to this album 10 times this week, including twice today and twice yesterday, just because I wasn't really sure yet. I was like, okay, it finally makes sense to me.
And there's something about him, chanting at the very beginning of the album, the pseudo Gregorian chant, which kind of makes you think of, ancient times and whatnot. And then how sweetly he ends it with his singing in French, no less, with Alan White playing the piano.
Yep.
In the background. This is the band hitting on all cylinders. It just really is. It's John Anderson's finest moment. It 100% is. He could visualize this, conceptualize this, turn it into a reality, even when half the band is either dead set against it, ambivalent about it, or hey, I'm new to the band, I'm just happy to be here. It's like it shouldn't be this good. And then you mentioned the production. Absolutely. No one would ever say that the 1973 Eddie Offord produced version of Tales from Topographic Oceans was the best sounding album ever. It definitely had some sonic challenges, let's say. I always thought it added a little bit to the charm, much the same way recording, in Chris Squire's backyard really didn't do Relayer any favors sonically. And Going for the One has some sonic challenges for sure, as does Tormato. So, the days of the Yes album sounded really, really great. There weren't that many of them. It's like the Yes album, fragile and close to the edge.
So, Scott, do you agree with Scott G that the 2026 Steven Wilson remix just vastly improved?
I haven't. You know what? I haven't spent enough time with it. I haven't. and I've listened to it 3 times. I've listened to all the other mixes, so hundreds and thousands probably on the original.
Wow.
It does sound great. I gotta say, it really, really does. And I think you just need an excuse to keep getting into this material, because Scott is absolutely right. It's not like the Yes album where you can get a whole lot out of just listening to Starship Trooper.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you ever? Or Yours Is No Disgrace, or Heart of the Sunriser, and You and I. 10 minutes of just like, oh man, my life has just been like refreshed, and I just feel better about the universe. 80 minutes is a big ask.
Yeah.
It just
It brings up a really good point about how, and I've seen it happen with sometimes before with people on the panels that we've had, Scott, with regard to, I don't really want to have to invest a lot of time and effort and energy into something.
That's not what prog is about.
That is not. And this is proof that if you will take time and patience and invest yourself in something, there are so many levels that can be discovered on this with each different listen, different things you hear. And I think that's probably part of the point of it. And it brings up an excellent point that a lot of progressive rock is worth the time and effort that people really want to put into it. It's like you said, you have to really sit and get to know the material and really become not, and this sounds like I'm being like almost hippie-ish, but I'm not. Become one with it, understand it, hear it in here, not just on a superficial level. And I think a lot of prog is that way. This is a hallmark highlight album that will show you that, but there's a lot of prog that way. There's a lot of the tangent. Scott Lade will tell you there's a lot of tangent you have to listen to several times to really get the nuances of what's going on there. But it's worth it. There is so much stuff worth this. I get so mad when I hear people like, oh, I'm not going to spend 80 minutes listening to something. I don't, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you open your mind and see what's there in that 80 minutes? So I agree with you completely, but I think it brings up a really good point that there's a lot of people that simply won't take the time to invest in really getting to understand an album. And you really need
life gets in the way for a lot of people. They've got jobs, they've got wives, they've got kids, they've got grandkids, they've got sick aunts and uncles, a lot of mouths to feed, a lot of things to do. And it's not always easy to spend 80 minutes with a piece of music, but it's the best 80 minutes you could ever spend. It absolutely is. And again, it is a divisive album. Even like you brought up, Rick Wakeman was dead wrong about this album.
And he has admitted as much.
There's not a second of filler there. And he should know better. He should know better. Some of his best playing of his entire career resides on this album. He should know better. He absolutely should. He's talking about it being bloated and filled with, parts that don't necessarily fit and shouldn't be there, like a padded bra and whatnot. Have you listened to some of his solo career?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? You should know better, Rick Wakeman. You absolutely should know better.
That is an excellent point. I mean,
and then he's coming back. Oh yeah, going for the one in Tormato are better. No, they're not. They're absolutely not.
Well, it's funny that you bring up those albums, because there are echoes of each of those albums, Going for the One and Tormato, all the way through Topographic. You will hear hints of those albums in the future. There will be a texture, or there'll be a passage.
That's what happens when you have 5 brains, right? It's those 5 brains. You even hear it on Key Studio for the last time, and it brings a tear to your eye, like you're listening to Mind Drive and they start going, and it's like, oh, wait a second, man. It's those 5 guys. Only those 5 guys on the entire planet can make that noise.
Right.
And you could hear it in Going for the One. You could hear it in Tormato, and you could hear it in Key Studio. And it's almost perfection, right?
This has been a very, very revelatory and a happy week for me, to be honest with you. I didn't expect this to happen. We've been working on having you on the show for a while now and trying to match all our schedules up. It's difficult. And if I didn't say it on the show earlier, thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely. No, my pleasure.
I did not expect to come out of this. I expected to get a different perspective, which may or may not have changed my viewpoint on the album. I didn't expect that this 2026 remix would completely rip apart everything I had previously thought about this album in such a completely transformative way. Is it my favorite Yes album? No, but it certainly has moved up into the top 5. And I would have put it. I would have previously. I would have put it dead. I would have put it dead last. I would have put it dead last, and I was wrong. I'm here. I'm here to say in front of you and God and Scot Lade and everybody, I was wrong. There was a genius gem of an album in there, and it took the absolute unquestioned talents of Mr. Steven Wilson to finally reveal that to me. I was so sure that that was it that I went back and I listened to the original mix as it is on this one, the original uncolored map, and it's exactly what was holding me back. Albums that are my favorites have to sound great. There's the one reason why, you know me, ELP is my favorite. The one singular reason why Brain Salad Surgery is not my favorite is because it doesn't sound as good as Trilogy. Period.
Because Eddie Oppard was busy doing Tales from Topographic Oceans, and Greg Lake had to take over the production duties, and it's starkly different than Trilogy.
Yeah,
sound wise. Honestly, I love that difference, man. Vive la différence. And to me, is part of why I love it so much. I love it when a band just sounds like this. This is Yes. I love that, and that's why Tales
is so funny, because that's the first thing I said when I was listening to this for the first time was, "This is Yes." That's exactly. I was like, I can't believe this is Yes. This is
well, again, have you listened to Relayer? Because they go even further afield with Relayer, and there are some beautiful moments on Relayer. It's a wonderful thing at my age, at my advanced age, to have a revelation like I had when I was in my teens, when an album would, really click and you really get it. It's a wonderful gift, and I have you to thank for that, Scott, and also Steven Wilson, because you have been unrelenting in your effuse praise for this album.
I broached no.
You broke me. You broke me.
Scott, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Lade, you have me in your corner now.
That's right.
Because seriously, from the first time I've really, really paid attention to this, I think it's fantastic.
There's something about it, and I think it all depends on how you consume music. If you are someone that is a casual, even there's casual prog fans out there. They like the classics. Occasionally, they might listen to a new band or whatever, but they're people just don't have music as a top priority. Some people, I don't understand those people.
I don't
it doesn't make any sense to me. So I get why Tales might not be everybody's cup of tea, but there is something just very religious almost. There's a spiritual quality that it's a little hackneyed, and it's straight out of some footnote from some book that Jamie Muir of all people gave to him at Bill Bruford's wedding. It just sounds ridiculous, right? And it totally is. And a lot of people point to Tales as being the exact moment where prog rock it went too far. It went too far. Oh, we can't have that. We can't have prog rock going somewhere no other band has ever gone before. We can't have experimentation and progress. That would be terrible. We can't. Oh, man, I don't want to hear about it. Obviously, Tales was the next thing that Yes was going to do after Close to the Edge. They were progressing. John Anderson saw it, made it happen. This is what prog should be. It should have been celebrated in 1973. It should be celebrated in 2026 for what it is. It is a bloated, pompous, ridiculous piece of art that you step back from, and it's like, what am I even looking at here? And then you get closer to it, and it's like, I still don't get it. And it's just an enigma wrapped in a mystery that is just unbelievably compelling to me. Well, I don't even understand why, but I can't. It's almost like the car crash you can't stop looking at.
Right. Well, and if you like avant-garde and rock and opposition bands, especially more modern ones, I know you do, and I do. You can see now, I really can see where a lot of those bands are influenced by this.
Well, and
They
not
really and truly
not
are.
only that too. Now that I like the album, and I don't just I love this album. Okay, I used to hate it until the last 2 weeks. Now I love it, and it's astonishing to me now that I do appreciate it and I really enjoy it. It's astonishing to me how the influence that I can hear now on bands like the Flower Kings and Spock's Beard
Very much so.
and IQ, and it's interesting to me because I never really realized that. Now that I've embraced it as an album that I really enjoy, you know, it's nice to know that at my age I can freely admit that I was completely wrong and enjoy something that heretofore was not something I liked at all.
This
And
is
I
quite
don't
the revelation, Chris.
before I used to say like everybody else, well, just side one and side four, make a mediocre album. No. You have to listen to the entirety.
Yeah.
It cannot be cut up. It
It's
had to be
sweet.
4 pieces because that was the vinyl record. They were roped in by that format. It must be experienced as one long
Oh, and that's
continuous.
what Scott said. He said when he sat down and listened to the whole thing all the way through.
Yep, he's
One
right. He's
continuous
absolutely
thread.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for you, this is my Topographic Oceans was, and we're off. I'll go off topic just briefly. Was Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon? I hated that damn thing. I hated it. I thought it was the most overrated piece of junk. And one day I'm listening to it, and I'm listening to it all the way through, and I opened my eyes. Oh my God! And I
it's pretty
finally
good.
got it, and now I think
Yeah.
it's a brilliant album. I really do.
This ain't that bad.
No, but it took listens, and it took
Yeah.
effort, and it took understanding, and it took more than surface level. And you cannot listen to this on surface level.
And I
just
think
be
that's a generational thing too.
it is.
You know,
It's why
it's
modern
hard to
generations
get
don't like this.
TikTok generation, man.
I
They
think
don't have
you can't
that.
put this into a 15-second TikTok clip.
No.
You can't do it.
Well, I will freely admit, here's another example from my own listening history. There was a time until my late 20s, I hated Led Zeppelin. I thought they were just lame and boring and sloppy, and I just didn't get them. Then I read a book called Hammer of the Gods.
Yeah.
By
read that.
I think the author's name is Stephen Davis, I believe. And I got interested. You read the stories. He tells it so well. It's told from it's not an opinion piece. It just sort of tells the story of how this music came to be. And I got interested and I started paying attention. And now I love Zeppelin, but it's that kind of thing where, for me, the question that keeps going through my mind, if Steven Wilson had not done the latest remix, which frankly he's been accused of, oh geez, another remix.
Oh yeah.
Well, if he had not done that, friends, I'm not sure I would be here today saying what I'm saying, because the album now has a sound stage. It has clarity. The backing vocals in particular have very nice blend to them. The bass guitar was completely non-existent in certain sections of the album, and now you hear that Squire sound. And Alan White, he's the MVP here. His drumming is immaculate. He's drumming his head off. I like every single minute of this album, and I like all 80 minutes as one chunk. Going forward, Topographic Oceans is one piece of music in my mind.
It really is. It's like 4 movements of a symphony almost.
Correct.
I
would
was
agree.
gonna say it's almost symphonic in how it's created.
Yeah,
Like movement 1, movement 2, movement 3, movement 4, all of one large piece of music.
exactly.
And that's seriously what it is. And
I am so glad that this was conceived before the CD, because it would have been a different time restraint. Here we've got 4 separate time restraints, which creates a weird balance between the 4 concepts at play here. Whereas if they had just one chunk of 78 minutes that they were playing with, they might have elongated one section too much or shortened one section up a little more. This way they have all equal balance, equal weight in the whole. There's a balance to it. There's a unity to it. And Wakeman says it was padded because, you could do 20 minutes on a piece of vinyl. So they wanted to make yes and no. every painter decides the size of the canvas before he starts doing his thing.
Absolutely.
And that's what and John Anderson in particular did. He had in his mind 4 equal size canvases, right? 4 close to the edges is how he called it. Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Why would anyone not want to hear that?
No, that's true, and it's a fascinating album, and and I am surprised at how divisive it is. I really am, because I guess because of my listening preferences, it doesn't feel all that divisive to me. Yes, art rock, most certainly, prog art, experimental, almost avant-garde in spots. Yes, but I mean, to the point that I can't stand this. I just have never I can't wrap my head around not liking it.
Well, I think really people were saying this was all pretentious, that they had 4 songs, one on each side. But nobody said that to Mike Oldfield when he put out Incantations.
Right.
Nobody said that to Soft Machine when they put out Third.
Right.
Nobody said that to Godspeed You Black Emperor when they put out Lift Your Skinny Fist to Heaven Like Antennae, or whatever that ridiculous album's called. Nobody said anything like that to any of those bands, right? They're so pretentious. How dare they?
I would like to proffer the opinion that what exactly is wrong with being pretentious?
Nothing.
Someone at some point with a sneer said, "Oh, well, that's pretentious." Yeah. So
we're trying.
What's wrong with that?
It just means you're shooting for the fences. It means you're more than boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's all it means.
Well, Andy Tillison wrote Cod Pieces and Capes for the Tangent. It's all about, they were so wrong about being so pretentious. Well, they were probably right about
that. They were. After he was talking about, Greg Lake and his Persian rug. And Keith
but you know what? Yeah. What's wrong with it? I mean, what's wrong with some pretentiousness and some music?
Have some fun with it.
That. It's called art. I mean,
and at the bottom of all of it is it is rock and roll, right? And there should be some fun to it. There should be a little bit of knowing wink, right? Like ELP always knew that what they were doing was absolutely ridiculous and over the top, and they gave you little winks and nods. There is absolutely none of that in Tales.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, this is as straight-faced as it gets. It's like John Anderson wanted to start a new church, right?
Right.
And there is absolutely no wiggle
room. There's no
tongue
in cheek in here. There's
there's no knowing wink. Like, we're just kind of kid without. No, you're supposed to buy all this stuff, man. I love it, and that's the thing when a band or an artist really and truly mean it, it comes across. It just does, man. It just does.
Can tell. Yeah, I agree with you.
And that is why Stephen Wilson called Tales from Topographic Oceans hardcore. Yes.
Yeah.
He's
not wrong.
That's not what wrong. It is. If you don't like Tales, you kind of don't really get Yes. You don't like Yes. Let's just put it like that. You don't like Yes. You like short little songs. You're a pop guy. You're kind of
You're a fraud.
I'm kidding. A lot of people don't like Tales. I know.
I'm so glad to know that I passed the Yes test without even knowing it.
That's right.
So
you see how that works?
Because I loved it. I did. I thought from the first get-go, I'm like, damn, this is cool. I like it. I've not had a problem with it.
Well, Chris, if you'll remember, you and I had a show not long ago where we talked about this very subject about Prague is a long, slow train, I think is what we called that particular episode. And the very best Prague, and I'm finding it out more and more, even today, it is a long, slow train. For me, 1973 to 2026, it took me that long to appreciate this thing. And now that I do appreciate it, and believe me, I do, I wouldn't have dropped money on this absolutely stunning package. I'm very excited about it. It's just, I've even, like I said, I hear so many influences in there. Steve Howe should be commended. He does such fantastic work throughout. Leaves of Green is beautiful.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, that's what deluxe.
Yep, this is what I got.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I bought.
Is that the vinyl or is that the open?
This is vinyl and 12 discs. There are 12 discs in this thing. There's a lot. There's several live shows in it, and
wow.
yeah.
It's a nice chunky box set.
Well,
That,
crap,
yeah,
I'm
that
gonna have
makes
to
it
get on
great.
board with that because I've just got this tiny little 2-disc thingy here.
Amazon has it. Amazon has it on sale right now. It was when it came out in February. It was about $30 more than it is right now. So it's
okay. Well,
it's
I'll
probably
grab it.
yeah.
That's definitely worth having.
I had a credit on Amazon that I had no idea. It was just sitting there gathering dust, and I went, "Okay, this is meant to be." So yeah, I think the consensus here, folks, like it or not, if you were hoping to tune in and see me drooling and frothing at the mouth and taking pot shots, maybe a month ago that might have been the show that we were going to make, but today that's not the show that happened because I am a convert. Topographic Oceans is a masterpiece. It's a real gem, and I've been enjoying myself. That's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing. We can think about this stuff, and what it boils down to is what really simmers in here. And I have really had a great time this week embracing this album. It was like, man, is this the album I have hated all these years? What in the hell is wrong with me? I mean, I must have said it out loud more than once. It's like, I used to hate, the 2 and 3. I love the whole thing. I'm in. I'm fully in. And like I said, Scott, all the years that I've known you now, you have been banging this drum, and
I won't quit.
That drum's been mounted to the back of my head, and apparently I was paying attention. But the mix, the new remix is really the keeper for me. It really did make a difference. Is that the one that you have, Chris? Do you know?
The one I have, I think, has the original 73 and then the 2016, I think.
Yeah, you need to get the new one. Okay. If you want to audition it, folks, Chris and everybody out there, it is available streaming most places. Before I purchased this, I streamed it on Apple Music, but I believe Amazon has it. I think a lot of streaming services have it if you want to taste test it.
I know Apple does.
Yeah.
I know Apple does.
I use Apple because it sounds the best. It's a really hostile piece of software, and I actually hate Apple Music with a passion. But it does sound the best, so that's why I use it.
And it has quite a grand catalog of stuff.
It does, and it's getting better all the time. But anyway, well, I think we've come to a consensus here that this is a masterpiece and deserves your attention, folks. If you find yourself with 80 minutes free, or whatever you might have, please make some time and listen to Tales from Topographic Oceans. I have disliked this album for a whole long time.
Oh God!
God! Get a room. Get a room, Scott.
Somebody put the filter on. Get a room, man.
That's my one true love, man.
You know what? It's very valid. I see why you like it as much as you do.
I do. I must concur with my esteemed colleague here. I didn't understand why you loved it so much, and now I do. I really do. I really do get it. And I was not prepared for the complete turnaround in my head. It's just that I've really been. I'm grateful to Stephen. I'm really grateful to him for slaving away. I mean, he's not only done the 2 completely different remixes, 2016 and this one. He's done Atmos. There's a 5/1 mix. Yeah. There's instrumental mixes too. I haven't even listened to the instrumental mixes yet because so much of what I've been enjoying has been the vocalizations. Yeah. But eventually I'll get to those as well. So
yeah, it's a complete package, and it's just marvelous.
It really must be, folks. This is a 7-course meal. This is not a ham sandwich from McDonald's. This is a 7-course meal. It's going to require some planning and forethought and a certain headspace. But this album rewards in spades. Once you get there, trust me, you will not be sorry.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. And thank you, Scott, for coming in.
Man, thanks for having me on. It was my pleasure.
Any final words, Scott? What's coming on the corner this week? What's coming up?
As always, we have our live Sunday prog stream, 11 a.m. Eastern time. This Sunday, we've got a debut album battle which came courtesy of our young friend K-pop, because I'm too lazy to always be thinking of stuff, right? So the album battle is going to be between the first King Crimson album, the first Emerson, Lake and Palmer album, the first Pink Floyd album, and the first Mahavishnu Orchestra album. So we're spanning from 1967 to 1971. At first, I hated it. I came back to Keeper. I'm like, nope. Think that one over again. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, this could be a really great battle. Mm-hmm. It's not as cut and dry as you think.
It isn't. And I can tell you, I'm not going to be there Sunday, but I've already talked to our young friend K-pop about what my rankings are.
Okay. Very, very good. It's I might shock the world with my ranking Sunday, but we'll have an esteemed guest or two on the panel, even though, Chris won't be there. We'll survive.
That's fine.
Tell them why you're not going to be there, Chris.
I'm going to go to the river in Texas, and then Monday I'm going to the Makeup Rush show that I missed because Rush canceled on me 30 minutes before I was going to the venue.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, from everything I have found out online, he is doing quite well and is ready to get back on it. So sounds like my Monday, the July 13th show is going to happen. So I'm going to be there in Fort Worth cheering on my favorite band in the world.
Yeah.
On July. So that's where I'm going. I'll be en route to Fort Worth on Sunday when y'all are having the show. So
yeah, and unfortunately I was the one that told him that the show was off, Scott.
Oh God, terrible, dude.
I texted him because I saw it on Facebook and
I saw that. I couldn't believe it.
He said, "What?"
Yeah.
I said, "You're joking, right?"
No.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And that's a whole topic for another time, but we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we've got other shows that's going to come up on. So.
Anyway, that's where I'm gonna be. So I'll be there in spirit with you, though, Scott. Don't you worry about it. And my picks will be there already.
There you go.
Well, friends, thank you so much for spending the last 46 minutes and 4 seconds with us. We appreciate it. If you're looking for anything about Myth of Logic, we are all over the internet, smearing our excrement wherever we can reach. Instagram, Facebook, etc. Don't forget to go to Chris's Facebook page and subscribe to him to get his album of the day.
Yes.
Chris's album of the day is awesome, and I've personally discovered at least half a dozen things that I now love that I never knew about. So please do that. Of course, our good friend and guest today, Scot Lade of the Prog Corner. Go and like and subscribe. Oh, he's got the snakes. That is why. That is why. It's the snakes, folks. It's the snakes. That's why.
Bring him a druggie over here. Bring him over here. We got snakes. There they are. Man, this is a great time because the snakes. I mean, we've made it now, Scott. The snakes have made it to our channel.
There you go. Got to turn that into a short.
Happen. We can put the stamp on it. We're done.
All right, gentlemen.
Well, dear friends, until we are together again, be good to one another.